And the war in Gaza is squeezing many of the millions of people who live there into more dense and more dangerous living conditions. A new wall marks the so-called Yellow Line, Israeli-controlled territory in Gaza, moving further into the once Hamas-controlled enclave. ABC's Guy Davies has a look at what life is like for people who live there.
The Al-Rabia family has been displaced for 3 years. They now live in tents near the Yellow Line, Gaza's de facto border between the IDF and Hamas-controlled parts of the Gaza Strip. Life here is desperate and often dangerous. Earlier this month, Samoud Al-Rabia's daughter Saba was shot just outside their makeshift tent. She was standing outside when stray gunfire broke out, Samoud says. She was hit in the head. 13-year-old Saba died of her wounds 2 days later. I'm exhausted and heartbroken, she says. I used to have 5 daughters. There is no truce. Gunfire continues day and night. Israel says it only fires when troops anticipate a threat. But that is no comfort for those forced to live so close to a military zone. And the Yellow Line boundary that separates Hamas-controlled and IDF-controlled Gaza has been quietly shifting. The Gaza ceasefire, which saw the release of the final Israeli hostages, left Israel in control of around half of the Gaza Strip. But Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to take as much as 70% of Gaza. These satellite images show that Israel has built miles of dirt walls along the Yellow Line, often several hundred feet inside the line. One wall in the south is nearly a mile inside the official Yellow Line and runs 3.5 miles long. Yellow markers appear on roads in Gaza City, moved farther inside according to witnesses who then have to move. In response to ABC News' request for comment, the IDF said that the Yellow Line was visibly marked with warning signs, but it would not comment on the specifics of the deployment of barriers in a sensitive operational environment. The IDF said they do not target civilians, especially children, solely for approaching the Yellow Line. This is a precarious and often deadly existence. Each mass funeral here, a reminder of a peace that's been on hold, one the US has sought to revive. The president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has now met both the Hamas leader in Egypt and Prime Minister Netanyahu on a trip to Israel. But the Israeli Prime Minister has reiterated there will be no reconstruction of Gaza until Hamas hands over its weapons, a position the US has endorsed. And with no peace in sight, these near-daily acts of violence continue to compound a humanitarian disaster.